What's up, everybody? Welcome to The Revival. My name is JJ, and it's time for part 3 of my 2023 Backlog Blitz rankings. Coming in at number 10 is a game that completely blindsided me. I didn't know much about this game prior to playing it. I had it recommended to me and played through it, and I loved it. It was wonderful, and that is Onimusha Warlords on PS2. I have been slowly playing through Resident Evil, and this is from the same people that make that, I believe, or same company, something. But it's very similar, just obviously different setting, different gameplay-ish, different combat, that kind of stuff. I really, really enjoyed just how much it took all of the parts that I love about Resident Evil, as far as like the gameplay goes, like the puzzle solving and the exploration and that kind of thing, and just like made that the big focus in these games. The combat is there, but it's definitely not, what I was paying attention to the most. I loved the puzzles. I loved wandering around and exploring this area and unlocking new places by solving different puzzles and figuring things out. And it was super, super short, and I cannot recommend this game enough. If you have the time and you want to check out a solid game, check out Onimusha on PS2. I played it on PS4 because it's on the Classic Store. It absolutely, I highly recommend it. I think I got it for like, I don't know if it was on sale or what, but I think I got it for like $4 when it was on sale, so it was like nothing. And it's absolutely worth it at that price. It was just the right length. It was wonderful to play, and I really, really enjoyed the hell out of it. Coming in at number 9 is Disgaea D2: A Brighter Darkness. It's not Disgaea 2, but it is a sequel to the first game, kind of like Final Fantasy X-2. That's kind of how this is. It was fun to get in there and like see all the old characters and that I enjoyed from the previous game, and man, the personalities and some of the jokes, the humor in that game is off the charts. It's goofy as hell, but honestly, the combat is just so rich, and there's so much to it, and it's really goofy, like stacking people and like it's something you really have to experience and play for yourself if you're into strategy RPGs. Or tactical RPGs. I don't remember too much about the story, to be honest with you. It was just more about like I don't remember exactly what happens in the story, but if you were to like lay out the characters in front of me, I could point out each one of them and tell you, oh, I remember him, he blah blah blah, this, and that would all click for me. But it was the combat that shined. I really enjoyed the gameplay. There's so much, like if you're somebody who's a completionist and you play the Disgaea games, you're going to be busy a while. I just roll credits on these games and call it a day. But God, there's so much more. That is like basically the start of these games. There's so much more to it. And anybody who has played those games can attest to that. I don't know. I haven't played enough of the games in the series to say where a good starting place would be out of those games. So it's hard for me to recommend anything on that. But I can tell you with the two that I've played, with Disgaea 1 and Disgaea D2, if you can find the updated versions of either one of those, it's a good time. So definitely check it out if you get the chance. At number 8 is a game on the PlayStation that I have been wanting to play and finish forever, and that is Legend of Mana. So I went for the platinum on this, and it's kind of weird because if I had played it and just like played it like normal, I think I would have loved it. Had I gone for the platinum and not played it through a second time, I think I would have hated it. Let me explain. So like I said, I want to get the platinum. I've been going through like the old PlayStation library, so like Wild Arms, and I'm going to do Legend of Dragoon at some point, Final Fantasy 7, 8, and 9. All that kind of these like classic PlayStation titles, and I'm just getting platinum trophies on them because you know I love those games, and I just want to complete them. So I thought about doing the same thing with this, and I was like, yeah, absolutely. So I looked up a guide, and you really have to play it a specific way. There's no, well, I'm not going to say no, but there's almost no freedom in how you play the game if you want to get this trophy for it. Which is not a great thing when the game itself is pretty much all about giving the player a ton of freedom. You are creating the world map as you play. You're putting different lands in different places on a grid. And so it's allowing you to choose like where you go next and where that's going to be in relation to another part of the world, and you're creating all this stuff. You have different golems and pets and all this stuff. And there's different ways you can tag, because there's like 60 quests or something like that, and you can do as many as you want, and you don't have to do them all, but you can choose in what order you do them, as long as they unlock depending on where you set the pieces on the world and everything like that. Because of all that, there's so much you can miss if you do it incorrectly, that the only way to redo it would be to play the game over again. Had I just played through that first playthrough and went for the platinum trophy like that, I would have had an abysmal time because it wasn't that great doing it that way. I had to play through it a second time because there was not something I missed, but something I had to, I don't even remember what it was, but there was something I had to do that I needed to get to the end of the game again to do it. But the second time around, I didn't have to do everything in that specific order because I'd already done all that stuff for the trophy, for the other trophies that I needed. And so I played it pretty much like normal. And I loved it. I had a blast playing it that way. It was wonderful, and that's how the game should be experienced. So I would recommend this game, but not recommend you go for the platinum trophy unless you play it first just how you want, and then maybe go for the platinum on subsequent playthroughs after that. Because it definitely was like a kind of a back and forth on how I was feeling about it, but in the end, because I did leave off playing it how I wanted to, I enjoyed the hell out of it. So yeah, I definitely recommend you playing it without a guide. That is Legend of Mana on PS1. At number 7 is another game that didn't really take me by surprise, because I knew that I was going to aim for something special, just based on how much people love it and how crazy people go for this entire series. That is Yakuza 0. I went into it, and story-wise, I got a lot that I wasn't expecting. I didn't expect it to be as silly as it was. I thought it was going to be way more serious. And don't get me wrong, it has a lot of serious moments. But it's pretty goofy in a lot of places, and it's just so interesting and so unique, this world that you're exploring, and like starting your own businesses, and the combat was a lot of fun. There's so much to this game that it just kind of floored me, and I was like, there's no way I would ever go for like it did on Mana. I would not go for the platinum on this, because there's so much to do, and there's no way I could master all of the things that this game has to offer. There's just no way. I enjoyed the hell out of it, playing it my way, and wanted to leave it at that, so I did. And this game was amazing, and I cannot wait to move on with the series. Yakuza 0, I can't wait for Yakuza Kiwami, which I think is the remake of the first game, so I'll be playing that at some point. I cannot wait. It's going to be awesome. Yeah, Yakuza, I am officially on board the Yakuza hype train, and definitely recommend it to anybody who has not played those games before. Coming in at number 6 is a game that probably should be higher, quite frankly, just given what a masterpiece it actually is. Let me start off by giving you why I was not super in love with some of it. God of War on PS4. Masterpiece of a game. Amazing. Just wonderful. Cannot tell you enough good things about it. That being said, I don't like Kratos as a character. I think he sucks. I think he's annoying. I think he is just stereotypical, brute. Meathead. I'm not like I get it. I get it. There's deeper psychological issues there, and that's what the game is exploring with the dynamic with his son and all this stuff, and that it's like all about him dealing with his feelings, and that's like the whole focus behind his character development. I understand that. I'm just saying, for me, it annoyed the hell out of me because I was so frustrated with every time his son would ask a question in the game, which is exactly the same kind of stuff I was asking as I was exploring this for the first time. See something off in the distance, or have something you wanted to know about, get more info about. He'd be like, "Oh, Dad, what is this? What's this going on? Blah blah blah. I want to tell me more about it." And, no, keep moving. Just blow them off every single time. And it's like, well, I as the player would like to know what that is. I would like to know the history behind this item or that monument, or it got so frustrating and just picked at me so much that I just ended up hating him by the end. And I'm just like, I've had enough of this guy. I cannot stand him. So that's my big gripe, and pretty much my only gripe with that game. That being said, I would recommend God of War to anybody who's curious about it, even if you're not curious about it. Check this game out because it is an absolute masterpiece of a video game. The visuals are stunning. They're absolutely gorgeous. The world is absolutely beautiful and incredible to explore. It's so rich. I do wish there was a little more life in there. Some of it's a little convoluted as far as like explaining things. But again, I blame Kratos for not giving me more info. But as far as just take it for what it is, man, it's unbelievable. It's absolute magic. What they did with this video game is it's up there with The Witcher 3 for me, as far as just like how well put together it is and how amazing it is to explore. The only reason I didn't stick with it and go for the platinum after rolling credits and stuff is literally just because I found Kratos insufferable and didn't want to hear from him anymore. So yeah, I know, I'm sorry, but like I said, man, this game was a masterpiece. I would never tell anybody that they're wrong for loving him or loving this game or anything like that, because it left me speechless in quite a few situations. So highly recommend. Definitely give God of War a chance if you get the shot, because you will not be disappointed. The combat, it's not for me, but it works. It's fluid. It's fast. It is visceral. God, it's just a fantastic game. It really is. So definitely check it out. And there you have it, guys. My 10 through 6. We got one video left. That's just my top 5 for my backlog. I have the list for 2024 made, so you'll see that soon afterwards. I haven't shown it to anybody yet. I don't know that I'm 100% sold on all 20 games yet, so I might ask like 1 or 2 people for their input and be like, well, what do you think? But I'm pretty sure I know the direction I want to take for most of the games on there. And I look forward to unveiling that at some point. Not that it matters to anybody, it's just me just being like, hey guys, look what games I'm playing, it's fun stuff. And leaving it at that. But thank you for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. I will see you next week. And as always, keep on gaming.